Is the bear market rally over with? Is it time to go short? This is everything we're going to talk about, and largely brought on by Microsoft. If you guys were long Microsoft, full disclaimer, I was, am, I guess. Long Microsoft earnings was green. It popped up. Things were looking all right. Told you guys last night, on Don Front Show, I'm bullish Microsoft, bearish Tesla. Man. And so it jumps up, grabs that blue little line that we drew on Sunday. Weird coincidence, right? Who would have knew? Who would have guessed? Anyway, jumps up, hits that. Now that's on their earnings numbers. And then when the phone call came out, the earnings call, they basically said things aren't looking good. And you don't need me to break that down to tell you the market didn't like that. So they did guide down and jumped off a cliff, it looks like. So gave up everything it did after earnings and then some. Went a little bit lower. So not looking good for my calls. And if anybody does play any options game on this, if theta crush tomorrow, but also on a pop like that, selling off, Vega might help some of you guys out if you had anything further than this Friday. Neither here nor there. If you're in options plays right now, roulette trade. It's a gamble, right? So you knew there was going to be an announcement. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. There's a lot of time before the market opens, which I'm very curious to see how this does pan out. Do we hold like this? At one point we were up here. Gave all of that back. So do we hold this or do we rally back up? Do we digest this? Is this a low volume sell-off? I can tell you right now, the rest of the market did not like it. A lot of things gapping down, selling off. Amazon jumped off with it. Amazon moving a lot in part with this because their cloud services, talking about AI, it's going to be the next big thing. So Amazon did see that pump, sold right back off with it. Tesla can sell off even more, hopefully. I'm short that. So it brought the S&P down with it. We got tech also coming down with it, still rejecting this zone, which is interesting because we've been in this rally. Now that trend line you guys see there, it's the huge trend line. We finally broke it. The bear market's over. It's time to be bullish. Is what a lot of people have been saying, even in my chat. And I've been saying, let's wait until Powell. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Powell has said repeatedly he does not care. He does not want a rally. He would rather raise rates and have the market take that pain initially than let inflation come down, we back off, inflation comes back, because that second wave is going to really mess some things up. So he'd rather just get it all taken care of at once. So I am betting Powell comes out. Sounds pretty bearish, and I want to see how the market reacts to that. That's ultimately what I'm basing it off of. Until then, it's just a bear market rally. And a lot of people were talking about how it broke the trend line. And that's cool and all, but that trend line does represent lower highs. Everything this is still lower high. If we're talking about that up here, we still got to there, we sold off. We haven't even made it there, so everything below that, still lower high. Yes, it broke your imaginary line. The one that only you can see in your charts. I don't say it to be condescending, I say that because you can draw the literal Mona Lisa on your charts. It doesn't matter because you're the only one that can see it, so don't sell yourself a position. Don't let that affect your capital allocation. You just get crazy because you drew a line and you played connect the dots. 5-year-olds do that. Let's not do that with your money. There's a case to be made for it. You want to be mindful of trends, but let's be mindful of that allocation as well. So as the whole market kind of sold off with it, it will be interesting to see if futures do we just reject, come back down. That being said, so looking at NASDAQ right here, which all these companies are in there selling off right now, it's down. But after this move up, we've talked about this before. It can come all the way down here. It could be a break and a retest that trend. I know a lot of people love to talk about stuff like that. This is a base out, but really we ran into the bell, kind of went sideways from the volume, and then the bell rang again. We just went off to the races. This is all just one leg up. So bulls probably not too worried about this. However, I will say if anyone's watching earnings this week, probably not the best look, right? I think a lot of people are worried about how are earnings how are they gonna pan out, and then how is Powell gonna sound? And if we just get red earnings across the board, and Powell comes out and he does a raise, talking about how he's gonna continue to raise, like he's been saying this whole entire time, markets might really not like that. We might get a decent sell-off. I will say, however, as far as the long-term investment, I'm going to very much welcome this next leg down. Hope it does happen because I'm going to start buying. The way the buyers did show up was a little different this time. They came up with some energy, and things are pretty cheap. So what I don't mind doing is on this next leg down, I'm finally going to start adding into my long-term stuff. If you follow my Patreon, you guys know we did buy AMD today. That's tier 1 on Patreon. It's the $5 tier. You guys do get my charts, but also I'm doing $150 a week, and I'm just gonna buy stuff. Jeremy from Financial Education, he's doing this. So no, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna just. He doesn't know I'm doing it. He probably doesn't know I exist. We're gonna see at the end of the year who can do it better. Just friendly competition. That being said, it is important to have that long-term account, and you'd be surprised what you can do with $150 a week. It's not a lot, but man, it certainly is better than nothing. And it will add up over time. Year 2, that thing should be cooking. So it looks like right now all that did, when I was looking at it earlier, Microsoft had brought chips up with it. Looks like that came down with it. So just giving that up, ultimately still holding that. So we're looking all right there so far. I do still like chip makers. I am in NVIDIA. I did add AMD today. I don't know if I'm going to go with TSM. I might just keep these two. But that being said, I'll wrap it up here. We're going to talk about all this on Don Fron Show Live. Again, this is Don Fron Trading, so just pre-recorded stuff. There's going to be a mix of real estate stuff, a lot of everything on this channel. Don Fron Show. We're going to break down the markets, answer questions. I'm going to turn to the chats. They are a little bit more lengthy. But I got to keep saying this, guys. By the way, the top 2 links in my description. Teachable. Yes, I do have a course. The trading suite is everything I'll ever post. As far as like there's right now options and supply and demand are in there. So Forex futures, those are coming next. I do trade all asset classes, so when those come in there, that'll be available to you. So again, Teachable. Second one, Patreon. There's 2 tiers. Tier 2 is the mentorships. That is the chat with me and the daily streams, as in like the Discord chat. You can tag me all day long. And then daily streams. The reason I bring this up is I will not message you. Those are the only 2 ways you can send me money to buy anything from me. I don't care about your crypto experience, and that's that. I do encourage you to get an options course before you go gambling away your money. It's important to learn that before you trade it. If you want to piggyback off any of my experience, that's the mentorship for the Patreon. I think with AI about to really take off and kick things up, it's going to be very important you guys know that I am not ever going to reach out to you ever. I used to DM people. I used to check in and say, actually, I would say, hey, how you doing? If you've been in my Discord ever, I have reached back out just to say, hey, not going to do that anymore because with AI and the way this thing can sound human, I think fraud is going to go to a whole new level. So I do want to mention that. If it is not that Patreon link or that Teachable link, it is not me. So anyway, I encourage you to check that out. Hit the subscribe button. That part is free. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know. Are you long? Are you short? How are you playing this? Short term, long term? I am interested to hear you guys. It just seems to be a total back and forth. Either the bottom is in or we're about to send this thing down. Rug pull. I'm kind of both. I think we got another leg down, but I think this will be our final leg down, so I'm kind of excited either way. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully on Don Fron Show. I will say if you are subscribed to that channel, notifications have not been going out. Sorry, I don't know how to fix that. I am not YouTube, but they are still there. Have a good one.